Hey guys, how's it going? It's me, Yoko from Japan. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm live from Fukuoka Prefecture, Japan again, but this time I'm behind. Where is this? Da-da-da. Oh, there's somebody there. But okay, so first thing first, I'm at this political event right now. I mean, it's gonna start actually in an hour right when this live stream ends, and I have to attend that event. And so that's why they gave me this room to live stream in so that I can talk to you guys. So the event, by the way, before I get into today's session, we are watching a movie together. But this is a movie about the abduction issue by North Korea. As you know, over 800 Japanese people, innocent Japanese citizens, are allegedly abducted by North Korea one-sidedly, and they are still there in North Korea. And there are some, a dozen and more, Japanese people that are recognized by the Japanese government officially that they were in fact abducted by North Korea, and they made a movie. Our country, Japan, like the government made an anime version of a movie about this symbolic girl named Megumi Yokota, and she's somebody that even President Trump spoke about at the UN. And so yeah, there was this anime, and this one is a real humans acting, and so we're gonna watch that together here today in Fukuoka. So yes, we're about to watch it. I haven't watched it yet. They were rehearsing though. It was actually a play before on stage. But since it got good reputation, they did this crowdfunding and made the movie happen. So yeah, it sucks that we have to do things like that, because our government is too weak. But at the same time, though, it's really great that our people are coming together to fight against North Korea in order to take back our citizens. So sorry, I got too serious, but how are you guys? So sorry for this setting and weird lighting and everything. I got a microphone, by the way, a new one. I posted that on Twitter. If you haven't, follow me on Twitter at Random Yoko. And I'll be using that starting next week. So wait for it. So, hey, you guys been talking. Oh, Rented Identity. Thank you so much for your super chat. Oh, Prime Minister Abe, he was very fiscally liberal, but at least he loves Japan and he was a strong leader. I wish him speedy recovery. Yes, he's Prime Minister Abe is actually the reason why, I think I got into politics. It was when this administration took power again in 2012. That was when I got into politics. So if not Prime Minister Abe, I might not have gotten interested in politics. But his first administration happened when I was in university, actually. Back then, I was largely influenced by liberal idea, thinking that Japan sucks and other countries are better and so forth, and a typical university student. But even during that, though, I knew that Shinzo Abe was kind of a good guy, and however, the media kept bashing him like so crazy, like they are doing to President Trump right now. It was really, really nasty. And even though I was more to a liberal, leaning to liberalism, even I back then supported Prime Minister Abe, and I had a good impression of him first. So yeah, I supported Abe administration for years now, and it's gonna change. So we're welcoming a different era now, we feel. So, T-Bone's here. Hello. And Ran B and this Russian person have been discussing about Northern Ireland. That's cool. Sam Rogers, hello. Benjamin, hello. Let's read your comments. Round B says Kim Jong-un is definitely dead. He died. He might be, I mean, at least politically he's dead. I feel that his sister is taking over. And I'm like, that's the good chance. That creates a good chance though, like when a regime shifts, there comes like there's a in between times. It's actually something that we Japan is having right now. But I think this time though, we are having a smooth shift so that our enemies can't, get to us. But North Korea is probably having a hard time. So we'll see what happens. I wish that my country would just go in there and take back our people, though. Okay. CVID says Shinzo Abe is still the greatest leader of the free world. Oh, thank you. Yeah, he is. Some things are coming out now that he is resigning soon. And one of the things that I read today was about the Japan-China summit last December. And Prime Minister Abe opposed to our Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and Prime Minister Abe mentioned about East Turkestan, like Uyghur people, the concentration camps and so on. Our Prime Minister in December last year mentioned the thing, even though our Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Foreign Affairs tried to stop him, and it's something. It's just a mention, but it was such a political power struggle, and so Prime Minister Abe is at the bottom. He's a conservative guy, but there were limits, and there are things that he kind of broke and did, so may happen. So yeah, that's good, but we wanted more though. Okay, NTN says a situation where the Prime Minister has to give up is not good. Yeah, I mean, he's got the disease. And I think it's good that he learned the lesson, like the last time in 2000, is it 7? His first administration ended at the worst timing ever, meaning that it was right when the national diet was starting, and he had like a few days before that, he had gave a speech to we're gonna start in that sort of speech, I guess. But so it was starting, and in the middle of that, he just quit like out of nowhere, and it was so bad. Like there was the blank time in between, like the shift. So everybody was confused, and our country was like the. So this time though, he will still be the prime minister for a little while more. We are expecting this meeting soon. It's called joint plenary. It's called a joint plenary meeting of party members of both houses of the Diet, and so it's right now. It's rumored that it's September 15th, so next month. In the middle of next month, they will have a meeting and decide who to take over. Prime Minister Abe administration, the successor. So, yeah, there are some people's names now, and we are seeing all those like what to expect on TV, but we don't know what's going to happen. Let's read your comments. Sorry, I talk too much. Weeb Rat says, I hope Abe's replacement is a conservative. I am praying for Japan's future. Thank you so much. I hope there's nobody really conservative, though. I hope that Mr. Suga has a good chance. I hope that he will be, because I'm not too sure about what he thinks about our emperor, but at least like he's Mr. Suga. There's a guy named Suga. I'll show you. Oh, this This is Suga, and he is the current chief cabinet secretary. So, secretary, difficult pronunciation. So, he's been supporting Prime Minister Abe right now, or like he has been supporting Prime Minister Abe like really, really firmly, and that's why this administration lasted like stably like it was so stable. However, if Mr. Suga becomes the prime minister, the next one, then he doesn't have his replacement. Nobody support him like that firmly. So that's something that we're hearing. By the way, when Prime Minister Abe said that he will resign, this is our newspaper, Sankei Shimbun. So, Prime Minister Abe expresses that he will resign. So, no face. It's huge. So it's all I don't know the pronunciation, but I don't know the word, but the newspaper companies gave like free like emergency paper to like here we go, he's resigning, blah blah blah. And the following day, that's yesterday, this is today, and now we see like all this map, like who's gonna take over and things like that. So anyway, Jessica G says, as for North Korea, Kim's sister is still crazy, maybe crazier than him. Kim, yeah, like who knows, right? But I don't know if like in such a traditional, like old-fashioned culture like North Korea, like in that sort of society, would a female leader survive? Like Kim Jong-un almost like he was, the military and so on. They tried to assassinate him several times, I hear. So I don't know if she can survive. Okay, let's read more. I'm looking for questions. If you have questions, write down. Wait, let me scroll down. Why is Abe resigning? Watchman asks. He is resigning due to his health condition declining. It's the same as the first administration. He has ulcerative colitis, which I have also. So it's an inflammation in the stomach, and your stomach just runs, and it gives you pain, and you can't really move. And so the mainstream media kept showing the footage of Prime Minister Abe walking, like before he was walking really fast, like hello, but later, like recently, he was like, and then like slowly walks. So it was already like before he announced that he will resign, it was rumored already that something's wrong with him, and he was right. Yep. And he went to hospital twice, which was weird because I knew from my experience that with this conditions like this disease, you go get checked, get a checkup, and then you get, if the situation is bad, then you get a good medicine, and then you have to go like soon after to get an additional test to see if that works and so on. So I could tell that was the situation that he was going through. So I married Jinx says, I wasn't expecting Abe to resign, but I'm not surprised. Yeah, I mean, Abe's administration this time has been the longest administration in a row. So like he tried so well, like it worked out so well. So now China and North Korea, Russia, that kind of like our adversaries are probably happy about it, or even South Korea. Yeah. So, Adrian Romero says, Is that Mrs.? I don't even know the junior high school level English. Yoko, I'm very happy to see you again on live stream. Yay, thank you. Oh, wait. My husband is beside me and said that I'm too slow reading your comments. You are talking about globalization. Paul Garcia says, how about former Prime Minister Aso? He has been making a hardline stance against the CCP. Yeah, Aso is the deputy Prime Minister right now, and he's a great friend of Prime Minister Abe. And he's become a Prime Minister before too, but it ended really, really fast. And Aso-san, he is supposed to be a conservative, but fiscally he is very, very left. He wants to raise our consumption, all kinds of tax, higher. And so economically speaking, he's our enemy, and he's actually a bad influence. He has been to the administration because Mr. Aso has been listening to the Ministry of Finance, and Ministry of Finance is very strong, politically. So Anyway, LD, thank you for your super chat. Did you watch Trump's RNC speech? Thoughts? RNC speech? Did I watch that? Trump's. I think I saw some, the reporting. I don't think I listened the whole thing. I rather listened to Trump Jr.'s speech, just because I caught it live, and it was great. He was on fire, and he's that speech was written in precisely the expressions Beijing Biden, and it's so compact yet so it has so much content. So that was really good. As for Trump, I don't remember. Sorry, I need to check that out. Really, so much is going on here, and I were not good at catching. Oh yeah, Melania was so beautiful though. Yeah. She's like a goddess, walking the the hallway or aisle or whatever you call it. And it was really great. I know that the Republican Party, Trump team has the strategy to bring the family front to appeal to American citizens, look at our beautiful, successful family, American dream. And I can see that, but yes, that works so hard. It's so beautiful. All his family, his children are so successful. And I don't know, as adults, they are really, really great, right? And they're just beautiful. And you can see that that's what Trump makes. And it's and political decisions by President Trump is those are his children too. So politically, he's making babies. So I'm really, it was really good. It was really good to see. Adrian says, please watch the RNC. Trump Jr. had an amazing speech once again. Arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you so much. Guy Stellar says, with Abe resign, do you expect Japan's economy will become better or worse? I don't think it changes much at all, because in Japan, our problems are not really the politicians, National Diet members, it's our bureaucracy too. So as I said, the Ministry of Finance, they are powerful politically, and they want to raise our consumption tax even higher, I think. And that is the reason why our economy is bad right now. And even we are having this consequences by COVID-19, coronavirus, or Wuhan virus. And so that could have been the reason why we, for a little while at least, to reduce our tax. But Abe administration couldn't even do it. So Brown B says, the RNC makes the DNC look like a garbage can on fire. Yeah, DNC. It's just like there's no energy there, and I'm pretty sure that Trump team wants to show that to American citizens, but it is really working. Like President Trump is such a rock star. That's what Japanese people are saying now on TV. Then the mainstream media here is liberal bias, but they're saying like, oh, Trump is a rock star and everybody loves him. Like, they wait for him for a day to see him and so on. Oh, super chat. VBDC Venice Beach Dub Club. A little pun. Thank you for your super chat. Yoko, I want to interview you on my IG show, Turkey Time. I sent an email to you. Oh, yes, I sent an email to your website. My viewers will love you so much. Sorry for not getting back to you. I will make sure I'll get back to you today. If I forget, please remind me, though. I don't mean to be rude, but I've had a lot on my plate, and I'm not a multitasker. But I'll get back to you definitely. So thank you for your invitation. Okay, let's read your comments. Any questions? Marcus B asks, "Hey Yoko, how important is Abe to his overall party? Without him as a prime minister, will his party still be strong?" Yes. LDP is the largest party here in Japan, and that's why they're the governing party, of course. But LDP is so big, like Prime Minister Abe's party is so big that it has many factions, like groups. So, and the interesting part about it is that Prime Minister is picked by like a different faction each time. Like now, Prime Minister Abe's group or faction was a prime minister, so the new one will be coming from another, or like one of the other factions among the LDP. So yeah, that's why we kind of know like who is like a dominant candidate and so on. So, but yeah, their policy won't be like, how LDP is structured remains the same. It's like there are pro-China people, like liberal type of people in LDP, and like neutral people, and then conservative people, which is a minority in the party. So it won't change much, I think. Oh, Hayabusa Katana asks, is Shintaro Ishihara still active in politics? No, I don't think so. No. But like he's really old now. I believe in the 80s or so. But I saw about him though recently. He appeared somewhere. I don't remember. Yasukuni? He visited Yasukuni Shrine on August 15th when our, emperor back then announced that we will no longer be in war. So yeah, that's when he came. Yeah, he was a good politician. Jeremy says, a lot going on in the South China Sea. Yeah, but America is doing great. And I'm really, really thankful as a Japanese citizen. Like, China, China attacked first, right? They experiment. I don't even know if those were experiments or like to threaten you, but they launched missiles, like ballistic missiles, and then in return, America is sanctioning them. Like there are companies that are helping them build their military bases in the South China Sea. And I believe Trump administration announced that 24 companies or so, they're sanctioning those companies. I'm like, that's so smart. I wish that like Japan could do that too, right? Like economically, we could do something, but even that, we're weak. So I'm really, a while ago, by the way, I got interviewed by this really huge media. The article will come out soon, I think in a week or so maybe. But I was asked like, how is Japan contributing and so on. And I said that, Japan can't help or contribute to the world peace militarily due to our limits, but caused by our constitution. However, we can help probably if we really want to economically, because there are lots of China's allies in the world. Actually, if you compare the numbers alone, China's allies they have more countries on their side, and even at the UN, like Human Rights Council, they win, but they are all bought economically by China. They want like good trade, or they want to be supported financially, and that's something that Japan could help too, that we could buy them over China. So I'm really hoping to push that sort of opinion here. Okay, let's read. Mob Totsu, what do you think about Ishiba? He's awful. We hate him. We all hate him. He's trying to be popular by saying like all these militaristic things or something. Like he tries to gain popularity like publicly, and so that includes attacking his own party just to make himself look cool, And but in Japan, it doesn't work like that. We have the culture of so-called nemawashi, if you heard of it. It means like we make sure that people don't conflict. We have a meeting and so on. So before our meeting and everything, we make sure like we prepare, we talk to everybody and make sure everybody agrees and so on. And then meeting is like we already know the answer, like what's going to happen, and then we have it, right? But Ishiba is not like that. He just ignores all this cultural background, and so yeah, and he's pro-China. So bye bye. Oh, Ishiba is a neocon, Randy wrote, but Ishiba is actually, what would you say? Leftist, according to my husband. Yeah, he is leftist. So yeah, we need to be careful of that. But the good thing is that everybody hates him, even in the party, so he won't get chosen, most likely, like 90%, I would say. Yeah, because the factions, like different factions, like multiple hate him. So yeah, it's least likely. So that's why Ishiba says that he wants to get, he wants it to be like a voting, for the next prime minister. He wants voting by like party members nationwide so that he could get popular and so on, to actually get votes. But it's not going to happen, I don't think. Somebody wrote Ishiba, no. Yes. And cool. My husband just told me the news that Mr. Suga, the current chief cabinet secretary, will be running for the next prime minister spot. So that's good news. He's our guy. There's a big possibility that he will win because, well, many reasons, but what I wanted to say about him. Oh yeah, he's when Prime Minister Abe was chosen in the party last time, it was actually Mr. Suga's effort to get the votes in the party. So like without Mr. Suga, Prime Minister Abe might not have been born like this time. So yeah, he's very strong. He's, by the way, 71 years old. So not much different from President Trump. I believe President Trump is 74 years old or so. So yeah, it's interesting though. Biden is so like, no, he's like 70 something, right? Too, but he's really, really old. So also. T-Bone, oh, thank you. What did you think of RNC, Yoko, and husband? Husband too. Yeah, I haven't really watched. I'm like the worst supporter, but yeah, I was just handling things here. But RNC, I don't know. Trump Jr.'s speech was just so good, and that was the biggest thing for me. And yeah, I saw some ad, somebody, was it an ad or actual speech? I don't know. I was getting ready and listening, so I don't know, but it was good too. But I will watch and get back to you guys about that. I should actually make videos. Sorry for not posting videos. I want to. Lots of excuses. T-Bone. Oh, T-Bone says, why don't Yoko run for Prime Minister? PM Trump and Yoko trade deal. No, I'm not good for a politician. I don't even wake up in the morning. Just kidding, but true. And at the same time, I'm a conservative. I'm traditional conservative here. And my belief is that, you know, in society, male and females have different roles. And because our bodies are structured differently, and we do have different roles, like biologically. And from my experience, what I can say is that, yes, there are some good female politicians. However, like biologically speaking, like being a female myself, even though I'm so feisty and being involved in like male dominant communities, like growing up till now, I'm just not meant for politics, as in like politicians. Like I can be activist and support people, but me being a leader and so on is like total, like it takes so much strategy and so on. And I don't know, my female brain is not wired for strategies. Everything that I have, like all the cool things that I say are inspired by my male husband and, you know, all the guys. So, oh, T-Bone says, oh, watch the last one Trump put on an amazing show. Oh, okay, the last one? Okay. I'll watch. Ooh. Max Resist says, oh, Max Resist, thank you for your Patreon. For those who don't know or are new, I have a Patreon page. I need to restructure the page because I made it a long time ago. But yeah. If you can support me on Patreon. Okay, so Max Resist says, not according to the LGBTQP. Oh, what is that about? いや、それはわかんないけど、何についての話だI'm like talking too much and I miss your questions. T-Bone, Yoko will be tying one of the Japanese empire. She's actually liberal, though, from the Taiwanese leader. the president, I would say. Yeah, she's a liberal and she's a pro same-sex marriage and so on. And so that sort of political ideas, I don't agree with her. But against China, we're on the same team. So yeah, it's really difficult, like in Asia, it's in each country, the premise is different. Our cultures are different. So I can't say much. Adrian Cardoso says, have you read books lately? Talk a bit about them. I'm currently reading a book by my friend, Dr. Jason Morgan. He's the one who nominated our old, like we no longer talk to him, but he nominated Andy Chan Ho Tin from Hong Kong. He's a pro independence leader in Hong Kong, and he nominated him. Jason Morgan nominated Andy Chan for the Nobel Peace Prize 2020, which will be announced in October, I believe. So that's soon. But Jason Morgan, Google him, Jason Morgan. He's been contributing some articles for the American Conservative.com or something. Yeah, and he has a good, very interesting perspective, and he speaks both languages. His Japanese is really, really good. Like he knows way more difficult terms than I do in Japanese. So I'm learning my history from him. He actually got a PhD in Japanese history and so on. And he also contributes for Japan Forward too. So yeah, I'm reading about it, and it's about the misunderstandings between Japan and the US. Like we misunderstand the history of both sides, like mutually. So he's been the bridge, and I'm doing the same thing here, right? So I'm reading his book. Rented Identity Sound says, Yoko-san, what would you say to those who accuse Japan of denying war crimes? What would you say to those who accuse Japan for... I see. There are people, like there are anti-Japan people in and outside of Japan. And conservatives are the ones that oppose to those anti-Japan people. I think that Japan, it's kind of a complicated sentence, so I'm like digesting. So Japan needs to state our own historical viewpoints, and we need to decide our official perspective as a country. Like, how do we view the World War II? What do we think about the history of the emperor family? Like, as a nation, we don't have a conclusion. We have different ideas, and people keep battling. And even for the World War II, we don't know like how to evaluate that, and therefore there is a large risk of us committing the same mistakes and so on, which is not fighting against communists. So that's something I am thinking about. Let's read your comments. Leave me questions if you have. I am talking so much, but this is a Q&A session, so I answer your questions if I can. I'm sorry for not watching RNC though. But the Japanese media is covering the RNC speeches, like some of the words that the speaker said and so on. So I am aware of what's happening, just not in detail. John Smith's Basement, interesting name, says, what do you think of the governor of Tokyo, aka Mitsu desu? Mitsu desu woman. You mean Yuriko Koike. The governor of Tokyo, Yuriko Koike, she's not a conservative or anything, but she's a great politician, in my opinion. Conservative people hate her because of her political views, but she's more of a populist than a liberal or leftist or whatsoever. So that means is that if we create the right public opinion, then we can take the advantage of her. So, and yeah, she's really good at all this. Like I said earlier, the females are not really good at politics, but she is good at all this power struggles and so on. Like, yeah, that's why you can't really trust her, because like for her benefits, she probably like, you know, betrays you easily. That's my hunch. But people like that, you can take the advantage of the relationships well. So yeah. Oh, James said I love you. Oh, thank you. Okay. I married Jinx says the Chinese exaggerate their economic numbers, so why wouldn't they exaggerate other numbers too? Yeah, propaganda numbers. You know, their propaganda, the numbers change. You know, it's like every year, the Japanese soldiers back, like during the World War II, they say like Japanese soldiers killed this many Chinese, and then the next year they say like, oh no, they killed many, and like keeps like, you know, getting bigger and bigger. Run B, no more cute pandas for me. Pandas are innocent though, and they are not Chinese. Pandas belong to Tibet. So that's, yeah, so I'm a sad panda. It's Tibet, man, Tibet. Okay. Let's read your comments. Jessica says, not a fan of Koike either. Yeah, she's not popular. I think it's because like people can see that she's thinking about herself only. But it's cool though. If you ally with people like that, you're strong. Oh, DD Raptor says, are the Olympics hurting Japan so far? Oh man, Olympics. By this time, without COVID-19, Wuhan virus, we are supposed to have been receiving all this amazing economic consequences from the Olympics. Like right now, you know, it was supposed to start in July, and yeah, it was gonna support, like, help Japan. So yeah, it's something that we really, really wanted, and Prime Minister Abe worked really hard too. But unfortunately, because of China, CCP-led China, yeah, we are not having that. So I don't know exactly how it is affecting our country, like especially economy. But yeah, oh, I heard that the Olympics was supposed to postpone by 2 years, but Prime Minister Abe made it 1 year with his diplomatic power. I don't know if it's true, but yeah. So yeah, Japanese people wanting Olympics so bad, but I don't think the world, like, we're fairly doing good with the virus. You know, we as a nation, we have common values, same culture, so we don't have a problem, like, you know, handling the case. But you know, we don't know about the world. Our GDP is really, really bad though now too. Oh wait, Weeb says, Yoko, what is your opinion of the Ishin Seito Shimpu party and Japan Nation Party? Shimpu, ne? Shimpu and Japan Nation Party. Oh, how do you know these party names? Even Japanese people don't know those parties. But you know, the guy, when we go live in Japanese language, there's my husband, me, and then there's this other guy. And that other guy, Taka, she was Shimpu, right? No? But the Shimpu party is probably no longer, like, they probably don't exist anymore because they kept like branching out. And Yeah. And Japan Nation Party is trying hard, but the minority, and they don't have seats in the national diet. That's the thing. Like true conservatives don't get seats. Even the party that I was supporting, I mean, they changed the name. Like our conservative party, like kept changing and branching out and so on too. But we are such a minority that it is so hard to send our people in the national diet. So yeah, it's really tricky, that, we all supported Prime Minister Abe, but we as like true conservatives, we don't support LDP. LDP has been our enemy. So yeah. Okay, let's read more. This Japanese person wrote, Shimpu is conservative. Yes. Okay. Some Japanese people joining in and saying that they don't understand English. That's funny. Mobius says, is Japan banning Chinese apps like TikTok? Considering. We're really, really slow. Yeah. Banning something is our weakness. Like we can't do it, Okay. Let's read. Crusoe Robinson said, I'm gonna be Joe Biden by Joe Biden. That cracks up every time. Yeah. How is Biden? Is he out of his basement? I've been watching Tucker Carlson, by the way. Tucker Carlson. I'm checking my pronunciation. I remember his name. Okay. Do you have questions? I have to leave in 10 minutes. I have to go watch a movie about the abduction by North Korea. Let's read more. I'm checking. Benjamin says, don't they call it a smell harassment? Cheetah Speed says, have you watched Ben Shapiro? Oh, that's interesting because I was gonna mention his name today, and you reminded me. I've known about Ben Shapiro, even since like 2016 or so. So like his views and his media have helped me understand the politics in the U.S. And I was such a fan of him, but then I started to hear like, I don't know, not everyone likes him in America, like among the Trump side. Like I'm confused. Like, what do you guys think about Ben Shapiro? Rather, I want to know what you guys think about him. Like, yeah, like somebody said like, oh, he's funny. And the person I asked in person didn't give me any like accurate answer. But Ben Shapiro is such a smart guy, though. He's so smart. He's like so high speed, and I wish I could be friends with him, though, personally. Like I even watched his interview on, oh man, who's that guy's name? There's this self-development guy in America. He was a former football player, I believe, like professional one. And Ben Shapiro went on his show and talked about his background, like growing up and, skipping grades and so on, and now married and blah, blah, blah. Like, and I was impressed by how Ben Shapiro likes the game, like he he loves what he does. So that's very inspiring. Randomly, Ben Shapiro loves Israel more than America. Adrian says Ben Shapiro is amazing. And then Rented Identity, Shapiro cares more about Israel than America. Oh, right. He's Jewish, so his background affects his viewpoint, is how to summarize it, I guess. But about James says Ben Shapiro is a solid conservative, no BS. Yeah, that's good. That's a good thing about him, is that he's so concrete when he debates. So that's what I admire about him. I wonder if he gets emotional though, like as for his standpoint, like Jewish background and so on. Because if somebody can actually understand where they're coming from, like themselves, then it creates a good argument. But some people are attached to their emotions, so personal emotions. So then that crowds the argument. Paul Garcia says, a few of us knew about Michael Savage, the one who pushed Trump to finish line last election. Yeah, I knew about him though. In 2016. I don't know how I got to know about him. Maybe my Japanese friend in America told me about him, I think. Yeah, I was listening to, back in 2016, my information source was Michael Savage, Laura Ingraham, and Ben Shapiro, and Breitbart, and stuff like that. So yeah, I haven't been listening to Michael Savage. I should listen to him. True debater Alex Jones. What do you guys think about Alex Jones? Like I feel like Alex Jones is somebody that I am kind of on the same page maybe, but he's so passionate that I don't know how much of what he's saying is like fact-based and so on. Interesting. You guys react in such an interesting way. Scott says, Shapiro agrees with most of Trump's policies, but is very against the tweets and sound bites that Trump gives to his opposition. He's really critical, I guess. T-Bone says, Trump bought party, you must come next summer. Yeah, I remember you saying that. Yeah. Man, when is this COVID-19 end? We want to go back to normal. Japanese people are wearing masks all the time now, and it's tiring, but I feel like the new normal is such a common expression now and recognition. So bleh. If you have any questions, I have to go in 7 minutes. So let me know. Feel free to ask me anything. It can be political, it can be personal, whatever you like. Jusumugai, sorry if I pronounced it weird. Shapiro is a bit of an establishment conservative and slippery on some issues, but worth listening to and makes for good memes. Talk fast, destroy with logic. Wife is a doctor, facts don't care feels. Yeah. Establishment conservative? That's interesting. But similar here, I guess, because when in Japan, culturally, when we talk about politics, what it means to be realistic means to obey to the current premise, the current environment, the current set of things. So like, for example, our friend Taka, who appears on our live streaming in Japanese, he says that, for example, as for Olympics or any sports in the world, Japanese follow the rules and, polish their skills, right? But on the other hand, the West, I'm like kind of criticizing, so sorry, but don't get offended, okay? But the Western world, they create new rules for them for the player to play better, at the games. But Japanese people just blindly obey the rules and try to, do the best in the given circumstances. And that's just symbolic, that we don't think about changing the rules. And even our politicians say like, oh, like all this, like they criticize dreamers or those who say like really bold things. They make fun of those people for not being realistic. But in reality, like those rule obeying people are just blinded. And so that's something that I need to tell people to, wake up to. Adrian says, are you very religious, say Christian or Shinto? I am very religious, or I don't really want to call my religion as religion. It's just a culture and custom, but mine is Shinto. But it doesn't deny other religions, When I look at other religions like, Christianity and Islam and Judaism, I believe in those, I guess those kind of conflicts with each other, but like our belief is just that when we die, we become like spirits, like kind of like God-like spirits, and we are watched over by our ancestors, and every little thing has a spirit living in it, so we have to treat them nice and so on, and we have to thank everything and blah blah blah. It's kind of like New Age, really. I feel like New Age people are now passionate about Buddhism, but soon they will discover Shinto, the Japanese one. So that's my bet. Mobius says, do you like baby metal? I don't actually like them because they're not metal enough. I know that they are popular in the world, but I'm such a real metalhead. So I really like technical ones and so on. CBIG says, Yoko never give up to pursue truth, the savior for the humanity concept, because truth all matters. Yes, I agree. Thank you. I thought I saw some question. Wait. I read that. Weeb says, can we have an English live stream with Taka and your husband? We could try, but if you have the endurance to bear the translation time, that I'll be hardcore translating, right? They don't speak English. My husband understands English, and he can sometimes put together sentences enough for you to understand. But if you're interested, we could try. If you have questions for them, I can be the interpreter, and we'll see. Let me know if you want that. 117 Rebel says, Yoko, what kind of music do you like to listen to? I'm a huge metalhead, but I haven't grown up since I was a teenager. So I still listen to especially after COVID-19, I'm feeling so nostalgic. I want to feel so powerful. And that's what I need is the rage from teenager times, all this adolescent time. And I listen to Limp Bizkit and Slipknot and all this Linkin Park and all that. I'm that generation, so I listen to those, and And during university, I was listening to like progressive metal. Oh, Tesseract is such an amazing band, like so beautiful, such a beautiful metal. And but I listen to anything though nowadays, like jazz or classic music, whatever like that. Yeah, but not much pop. Like I'm not down to earth. Okay. Oh no, it's an hour now, so I have to go. I have to go watch. See the movie together with everyone. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Oh, favorite movie, Legend of 1900. There are many more, but that's the one that I repeatedly watched. Okay, I want to talk to you more, but I have to end this now. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you miss me, please follow me on Twitter at Random Yoko. Also check out my Patreon page. Oh, did I put description? I think so. Oh, patriotic gesture, money for your popcorn and soda in the theater. Thank you so much. You always give me the tip jar thing. Thank you so much. It really helps. Thank you. I will invest that money into my gears. Okay. ありがとうございます. Okay. If you have questions, follow me on Twitter, okay? I will talk to you guys soon. So have a good night or day or whatever. Thank you again so much. I mean it. Okay, I'm gonna go. Bye.